Hey, you guys, Peek out here in Singapore. I'm back, you guys. And there is a reason that I don't produce, so to speak, this podcast. I do it live. There's a reason because I never know when inspiration is going to hit me or where it's going to come from or what the message is going to be until it comes to me. You know what I mean? So today's been a long day. It's been my mom's birthday. We spent the entire day with her, and it was great because I didn't get a chance to do that before. So I'm really excited about this. And hey, Avina, I'm so glad that you're on here because this is about you too. And sometimes you get inspiration from other places while you're doing things, and and learning from people and inspiring people and doing what you got to do to get through. You got to survive in the meantime, right? So I think a lot of us find that there are times in our life that we forget the weight of our dreams. We have our dreams. We have this idea that we want to do something. We want to, accomplish something. We want to leave something behind. But there are always those moments in our lives where we're like, is this really worth it? Is the sacrifice worth it? Do I really want to continue? Is Am I doing the right thing? Was this even the right dream? Did I go about it the right way? Do I have the right coach? Do I have the right friends? Did I pick the right thing? Like, we have 1,001 questions about why. And then there are moments that remind you that whether you show up or not, people need something. They need someone to lead them. They need someone to show them that it can be done. Maybe they don't have the same dream as you, but you doing and you showing up and you putting in the work reminds them that it's possible for them too. Tonight I was reminded a couple times, actually, in the span of a couple of hours, that the weight of my dream, that thing that hangs over my head, that thing that I decided I wanted, it's big. It's a lot bigger than I've let on to. Why? Because my cousin in Malaysia called me, and I couldn't be more proud. My cousin, I haven't known her all my life. She walked into my life, or I walked into hers. I don't know what the order was, but she's been a part of my life for about 6 years now. And in those 6 years, I've learned a lot from her, and I know she's learned a lot from me. But tonight, she got a call, and she wanted to share it with me, and it made me just, my cup overflows. I mean, I hope you understand that. My cousin has been invited to talk on TED. And it's ironic because a couple of days ago I said, yes, TED is one of my goals. I will stand up and speak on TED. Because I happened to see an ad, something about, people asking if, you want to be a speaker in Singapore, come attend this, blah, blah, blah. It's one of those funnel things that's an ad on Facebook. And I am so proud of her because I've had so many conversations where she was like, yeah, but I'm saying the same thing. Of course you're saying the same thing. You're telling them your story. Your story's not going to change. You didn't do anything different between today and yesterday. You did the same things. It's still your story. The things that you've accomplished. And I'm not going to give it away because I expect every one of y'all listening to be there behind her in August when she speaks in Malaysia at TEDx. Because what she's done with her life, all the no's she turned into yeses, that's major. It's major. And if she can do it, you can do it. I can do it. Any one of us can do it. But like I said, that's not the only piece of inspiration that kind of got me today. Like, really got me. You can hear it in my voice, can't you? We were running through Tamil movies the last couple of days because when my mom is here, that's when I take advantage. I want to, sit down and watch Tamil movies, catch up. And yeah, they're corny as hell. There's a fight scene, there's a dance scene, there's 100 costume changes. It's pretty much the same story over and over again. But lately it's been hitting home a lot. Today I watched a movie with Sivakarthikeyan, and he's actually the guy who produced the movie from what I understand as well, and it's called Kana, which means the dream. And it's about a little girl from a village who plays cricket. Why? Because she saw her father cry for the first time over a cricket match. And she decided, you know what, I don't ever want to see him cry again. I'm going to make sure that I play cricket and I make him happy. That's what my goal was. And yeah, she made it based on somebody else and their feelings and stuff. But the amount of emotional turmoil she went through to get to where she needed to be, the amount of things people sacrificed, her parents sacrificed, she sacrificed, the amount of opposition she faced, and she did it anyway, that's major. That's major. What do? I talk about emotions. Yeah, I'm in my feelings all day long. Well, guess what? You need to be too. You need to pay attention. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Your soul speaking to you, that's where your emotions come from. If it feels good, yes, do more of it. If it doesn't feel so good, you need to think about where that's coming from. What is it about that that doesn't feel good? Which part of that? The whole thing? A little piece of it? Which part of that doesn't feel good? So you can correct it and keep on going. The goal is to remain happy. It's like that story of, the teacher in the classroom that gave everyone A's to begin with in the beginning of the school year. And your whole goal was to keep the A that you had. It's the same thing with life. We were born happy. We were born happy. And somewhere along the line, the world beats it out of us. Why? Because you can't be more happy than I am. How do you measure happiness? Where does it come from? What do you have that I don't have? How come you're happy? I don't like it. So they beat it out of you. They knock you down every chance they get. I saw in that same movie this girl that thought she was great because she'd been at the Indian national team's training camp several years in a row. She didn't like that the new kid got attention all of a sudden. So what did she do? She did not match the new kid's strength and power and drive. Nah, she wanted to knock her down so she would feel better about herself. It happens to all of us. Somebody somewhere will very snidely say for the safety of their couch, oh, well, you know what? It's because you're in a wheelchair. It's because, your mom and dad have your back and, I don't have that, so I can't do it either. They'll say some stupid shit to knock you off your pedestal that you built yourself. My pedestal is built on cuts and scars and scrapes, scar tissue that has healed over big wounds that I don't talk about. Things that I was told were not important. Things that are brushed over because it would create too much of a scene. Because I'm female. Because I'm Sri Lankan Tamil. Because I was raised in the West, and what would I know about being an Eastern girl? So why do I talk about emotions? Because emotions hit all of us. Emotions don't care about what the color of your skin looks like. It doesn't care about how tall you are, how big you are, how small you are, if you're flat-chested, big-chested. It doesn't care if you're dark skin or light skin, if you have patches on your skin. It doesn't care about tiger stripes or stretch marks. It doesn't care about none of that. Every last one of us has feelings. I talk about feelings because the men in our life need to heal their feelings. They need to understand where they come from so that when they're rejected, they don't feel like going off and throwing acid in women's faces because the girl said, no, I'm not interested. So their response is, well, shit, if I can't have you, can't nobody have you. I'm going to destroy your life instead. And that's not all men. There are men out there that suffer in silence, just like some of us women suffer in silence. And that's not okay either. There are women who fight and do everything they can to make sure the people around them are happy. But they don't have enough food to eat, and no one asks them about it. They will feed the whole nation before they feed themselves. And that's just the way it goes. But no one asks them about it. Why? First of all, they're too proud to say anything. And second of all, they don't know who to trust. So why do I talk about feelings? Because if I can't help you to love who you are, how will you have any good, decent relationships to fall back on when you need it? We're social creatures. All of us, we're social creatures. We need each other. I need my kid. I need my parents. I need my brothers and sisters. I need my friends and family. But I can't ask them for help if I don't have the kind of relationship where we talk about the real things. If I have the kind of relationship with my friends and family where in passing I say, oh, hey, how are you? How was your day? That's great. You know what? Happy birthday. And that's the last time I speak to you until the next birthday. How am I supposed to feel comfortable enough to ask for help? Do you see how important emotions are? Do you see how much it affects? If I don't know who I am, if I don't understand what I stand for, where I come from, how will I take criticism? If someone with great intentions loves you, wants to see you prosper, and tells you, hey, you need to stop dismissing this in your life. Are you going to take that criticism and make it constructive? Or are you going to take offense and then maybe cut that person off? We all talk about, you know what, if so-and-so cheats on me, I ain't never going to talk to him again. That's it. It's over. I ain't ever going back to that person again. But guess what? If you can't see fit to look at that hole, that pain, that problem, it's going to happen again and again and again. Trust me, I've lived through it. It takes two hands to clap. It takes two mouths to have a misunderstanding. I talk about emotion because we are emotional creatures. We do things to spite each other sometimes. We do things to make ourselves feel better without regard for what the other person feels. That thing that Gary Vee talks about, kindness and compassion. Could you imagine a world if everyone did that? If everyone took into consideration everyone else's feelings? How would we speak? How would we communicate? Would there really be a need for divorce? I heard something the other day and it really made me think. It used to be that monogamy meant one person for the rest of your life. Do you realize now that it means one person at a time? What happened to us? I know every one of us has laughed at the idea of an arranged marriage, but I have a certain respect for that. Yeah, you hate the person first because you didn't want to get married to them in the first place. And then at some point, you learn to tolerate them. You learn what they do and they don't. What they like and they don't. How they eat. Whether it drives you nuts or not, you learn who they are. Without this rose-colored glass bullshit. And at some point, you learn to respect who they are and like who they are because you respect them. And from that like, eventually grows this deep love where you really know where that person came from. No, you don't get to know the representative they sent to impress you the first few years of your relationship, only to find out that that's not who they were in the first place at all. And then you find yourself asking that question, did I ever know my husband? Did I ever know my wife? Who is this person that stands before me and shares my bed and shares my house, this personal space? And where does all that come from? You not being confident enough to be yourself in front of the person you like. Do you see how important your emotions are? Because I feel the weight of my dreams. And I haven't been doing anyone service because I haven't been talking about what I do. And no, it's not bragging. I'm not talking about, oh, I am the best there is at what I do. Nope. But I am dedicated to what I do. It's what I do all day long. I do it with my daughter. I do it with my mom. I do it with my friends. I do it with my colleagues. I do it with my cousins. I do it with the people who call me for help. Do you know what it takes for someone to have courage enough to pick up a phone, not knowing if you will answer or not, and call you for help? Those people that man hotlines, suicide hotlines, 911 hotlines, those people that man those calls, do you think they know what kind of responsibility they have? Do you think they understand what kind of courage it takes to ask for help? I do. I do. I really do. I don't like asking for help, but I know I need to ask. Because no one's going to ask for me. No one's going to notice the way that I notice unless I teach them to notice. So that's what I do. I teach you to notice. Notice you first. Because when you notice you and you really own all of who you are, it comes naturally to notice others. So hear me when I tell you, the business I run, the work I do, it's not segregated for just women. It's not just for children. It's not for married couples. It's for all of you. I'm not worried about how old you are. I'm not worried about what you've been through. I want you to know that I am here. Whether your problem is big or small, if you need help, I'm here. Do you hear me? I'm here. Reach out. Do yourself a favor. Be kind to yourself and ask for help. I'm right here. You guys, I hope this made sense. And yeah, I'm in tears. But this is important and I needed you to hear it. I'll catch you again soon. Good night.